Good morning and welcome. For 23 years now, the Life and Faith team has been bringing you stories from faith communities throughout southwestern Ontario. Thank you for that, and we're so glad that you're making us part of your day today. This morning, we take you back to the Church of the Ascension in Windsor for a discussion about the Deanery of Essex. Then Matthew Penny speaks with Geraldine Robertson at St. Clair United Church on the Chippewa Reserve near Sarnia on the very important topic of the need to educate folks about the First Nations residential schools and about an upcoming event to help do just that. Finally today, it's time to go back to the cafe. Abraham's Cafe, that is. Up first this morning is Reverend Rob Henderson in discussion with Archdeacon Kim Van Allen about the Deanery of Essex and what's happening there. Let's join them now.
One of our goals here on Life and Faith has been to bring you the stories and introduce you to the people throughout the Diocese of Huron. And it's a very large area of land to cover, so we're happy that we're able to bring you a special section of the diocese that we haven't been able to get to too often in past, and that is the Deanery of Essex. And so today on Life and Faith, we'd like to introduce you to the Deanery, some of its people, and first off, the Archdeacon of the Deanery of Essex. And we're joined today by Archdeacon Kim Van Allen. It's good to have you with us today,
Thank
Kim.
you, Rob. It's good to be here.
As I said, the Deanery of Essex is a large portion of the diocese and covers a lot of geography. Quite a big place to do ministry in this area, isn't it?
Yeah, it surely is, and quite diverse in terms of urban and rural and city life, small country agriculture, as well as the areas on the water.
Right.
You know, we're just surrounded by water, which is gorgeous, but it also has ports and historical places like Amherstburg that have a different kind of richness.
Mm-hmm. And a rich history of the Anglican Church here in this area, and that obviously continues today. So as Archdeacon, I know you've had the opportunity over the last almost a year now to get out and be part of the things that are taking place in our churches here. So tell us a little bit about some of the churches and the ministries and things that you found here in Essex.
Well, it's wonderful to see how the congregations have responded, first of all, to their own context. You know, urban churches responding to subdivisions, places where families live, downtown church responding to people in need, people that live on the street, and the smaller town congregations and historical places responding in their way by joining in with the community around them to celebrate an historical event. Or just by making partnerships with other congregations or with people that grow vegetables, for example. Down in southern Trinity on Lake Erie, 3 Point Parish have started out something called Acres of Hope and Love. The churches actually grow acres of vegetables on very fertile land and bring that food in, for their own area food bank, but also to the downtown mission and other congregations in the city and even churches outside of the Anglican deanery, which is wonderful. Just all about using the area that God has given us and the resources. And in Windsor at this time, a time of great economic challenge for many people, many families. So it's the diversity of response to that the congregations have taken to that kind of need and what they can do is wonderful to see. And
that is local need that's taking place right here, whether you're living in rural or whether you're living in the urban center. We see that all around us because I know people that live in the rural areas certainly come into the city as well and vice versa, so they're all connected in that way.
I went through the vestry reports that I'd been given for different congregations, and some of the things are done so silently that no one knows congregations are doing these things. But There are more than 2 congregations that are actually involved in breakfast programs at elementary schools, and other congregations that don't have a need around them are participating by bringing money or food, and that's just quietly happening in response to God's call to love your neighbor. It's wonderful.
Yeah. What about some of the maybe ministries that you're seeing here in the city? I know that there are a number of churches close to the downtown area as well, and that's certainly a mission field, as we like to say, of things that need to be accomplished here too.
Well, about almost 2 years ago now, our deanery undertook a deanery-wide program called Vision 2019. It was a program offered by the Canadian Anglican Church for use around the country, and we were one of the first ones, I think, in the country to actually undertake it as a deanery project, dealing with the different 5 marks of missions, and one of those is around preaching the gospel, proclaiming the gospel, which is sometimes a hard one for us. We do it, for ourselves every Sunday morning, but doing that in the mission field, helping other people beyond our fortress-like doors to come to know Jesus, to know God's love for them is challenging. But engaging in that conversation, I think, has sort of opened up some new ways of thinking about how that can be done. Websites are being modified, and people have blogs, and congregations are struggling with, well, how can we do better signage, or just build some partnerships with other groups in the community so that we have an opportunity to tell people about Jesus, about God's love. And just at All Saints in the downtown area, the Episcopal priest that's at All Saints for a few months just responded to the desire throughout the community, throughout the world actually, to pray for the people for Japan. And just one of those, there's a need, there's a desire to do something, and what we do in the church is pray. And Andrew, the Reverend Andrew Shirota, is going around doing that with people on the street. Schools are calling the deanery to have him come into them. Imagine that. Rather than stay away, church, schools are calling because they want, again, a way to express hope for people in crisis. So there's that kind of just responding and having the courage to risk. What if no one shows up? Or even today's event, which I'll let others talk about, but trying to make a difference in the core of the city with young people that know a pretty good life, but are surrounded also by people that may be struggling financially, but also may be struggling in terms of hope in their own life. And we are called to introduce them to the source of that hope. Another response of St. Barnabas, a congregation on a very busy street on Tecumseh Road near the hospital, a couple of years ago, and they did it again this year, decided they wanted to tell the Christmas story to the people of Windsor. And they did it on their front lawn, which isn't a big place. But right before Christmas, snowy, cold, they enacted the Christmas story. So instead of describing the birth of Jesus and in their 4 walls, they took it outside. That's taking a risk, as well as a big project in terms of planning. But they did it, people came, and they've made a difference in people's lives, and that's fantastic. Good for them.
And that's our great challenge, and that's the work that's set forth here in the Deanery of Essex, and it's something that we're going to continue to strive toward. And but I think a great place to end our time together is to be able to share that there's great hope here, and we're seeing it manifest itself in the different churches and communities that make up this great deanery. So So we invite anyone that's watching today in the Essex area, if you're coming into the area, to visit us and be part of what's going on in the Anglican Church in Essex.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Archdeacon Kim Van Allen, and for Life and Faith, I'm Reverend Rob Henderson.